Mads is here, everybody. Here he comes. Crashing my camera there. Thanks, Mads. Yeah, great news. We've got Mads Ostberg in the studio, and we've got the boss, Marcus Gronholm. Welcome to the studio. Delighted you could join us. 2 times World Rally champion, 5 times Finnish champion. You're like a legend here. You're a superstar. And just seeing you walking on the surface, it seems like yesterday, and you're still a superstar when you're in Jyväskylä.
Yeah, superstar, yeah. The reality comes at home. I'm not a superstar there.
But it was here, wasn't it, where you first basically showed your pace as a privateer, which got you into your first works drive, Rally Finland. It's obviously your home event and special for you.
Yeah, that's true. It was one of the places where I could show something, and always trying to do my best. And I had a help from Toyota at that time for a few times a factory car, and just for Finland. And yeah, that was the key to step up.
And my memories, I'm not going to say childhood memories, I was a bit older than that, not much. we got a clip from 2000 here of you going in Finland. I believe this was your first win. Fond memories?
Yes.
And that silver bullet. I mean,
it looks a
you love legendary car.
Yeah, I love that car, but it looks a little bit old already. But at that time, it was the best one.
I mean, I remember you, as you were saying, you came from a privateer, and this team was just coming up and coming brand new. And
yeah.
They took maybe a gamble on you, you know what I mean? And you paid them back massively.
Yeah, it was maybe a surprise when they choose me, but I don't know. It was a good team, and everybody was, so into it and wanted to win. So it was a nice time.
Fond memories. You remember watching that, Mads?
Almost anyway. Yeah, I definitely remember following Marcus in the Peugeot, and it was a nice time. He was a different character than the other drivers, and his driving style was very unique. So I've told Marcus before that he was always my favorite driver when I was young, and he's still one of my favorite drivers, for sure.
I've got a question for you, because we're all legs here in the studio, Marcus and me.
Hang about.
Yeah, you
I bring the average down, I do, for sure.
But the Silver Bullet wasn't a big car. How did you actually get into that car?
No. In fact, it was quite difficult to get in there. First time when I went to the factory to try the seat position, it was terrible. And they have to move the pedals maximum in the front to produce new pedals, and then it was okay. It was not okay, but it was drivable, but the car was so fantastic, so I didn't mind if it was a little bit bad.
We're going to go and show you some more archive now, make you feel old. This is 2004, I believe, here in Finland, and this was your 4th win. And this wasn't your favourite Peugeot, the 206. I beg your pardon, the 305.
307, wasn't it?
No, it was not my favorite, no, but after the 206 we had a lot of trouble with this one, but in fact I won both times with it here in Finland, so not so bad.
We had some famous exchanges at the end of one of the gearbox. How many gears did you do Owen Poyer in or something?
With 3 gears.
3 gears, and he won the stage.
Yeah, that's true.
But you were quite outspoken, and Corrado wasn't particularly happy with some of the things you said about that car.
I was quite outspoken, yes. Just right. I think it was you after the stage in Mexico. I said something stupid, which was not so good for the marketing. And but it just came, from my mouth.
That was the great thing about in those days. You just used to let rip. You did a bit as well.
Yeah, I did, but of course, I love these videos on YouTube where they've just gathered all the good comments from Marcus, and there is some classic ones for sure. And
I think I know what the famous one is.
Yeah, I think I know as well. But I think it was really fresh, and it was slightly different. I know all the drivers were a bit more free-spoken before, but someone a bit more than others.
There was actually a T-shirt made of the famous one. We won't mention what it is, but. Mads, Marcus, do you think that's maybe missing now in the WRC? You can't be that outspoken and keep your drive anymore. you've got to play a bit of a corporate game in the modern,
that's true.
the modern car.
Yes, I think you can, but you must be a little bit careful what you are saying. But I would like to have a little bit more open. Now everybody, the car is good, no grip and blah blah blah. It should be a little bit more.
Do you think maybe
more,
a little bit more?
a little bit more.
A little bit more, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, you were brutally honest, maybe a little too honest. We're going to go to some more clips now. I think we're loving this
Again.
archive. 2006, I think, is 2005, I think, is the next clip. We're going to run this. This is your 5th win here, I
This
believe.
was the year where Timo hurt his back on a heavy landing.
That was not nice.
Which stage was that? Do you remember?
It was a new stage called Velipoja. Here it is.
There.
There.
And it could have been quite bad, but okay, in the end it was okay, but
He just said carry on.
yeah, he was not saying anything. He couldn't say anything.
Knocked the wind out of him, absolutely. We've seen that a couple of times here as well, haven't we?
How cool is it going into this corner, the famous Kakaristo junction?
It used to be my tent here when I was a private driver. I had my sponsors always there, so every time I was waving there, I was lifting my hand. Thank you very much.
Great memories, look at that. You haven't changed much, I'll be honest. You're still looking fit, and you got back in the car this year as well. And
Yeah, I was back in the car, but we can speak something else. It was not so good. It was not so good.
yeah, well, it didn't go well.
You know, 9 years without not rallying, my notes were not perfect, and you can go so much faster into the corners now. So every corner was wrong. I mean, not right.
Here we are,
What
pictures.
was the biggest change? Obviously 9 years. What did you find was the biggest thing?
Boom. The biggest thing was, maybe the corner speed, and also I didn't like, in Sweden the wide tires. We used to run on the narrow ones.
Did you do both?
Yes, I've done narrow and wide, and obviously I agree a bit with Marcus still that the narrow tires was a massive difference. I remember the first time we started to test with the wider tires, and it's such a difference. So I can imagine when you have something built into your mind, and then suddenly you go on the wide tire, the car is snapping everywhere, and it's so difficult.
I was a bit lost, all the time when it took on the loose snow. I didn't like it.
No, it's a bit like that, and you sort of it's so easy to lose the line, and when you do, it's more like Monte Carlo than Sweden. It feels like no grip, so it's a big surprise, and I'm sure if you built up something in your mind and prepared for it, and it's different, then it's definitely not easy.
Maybe Sweden was the wrong choice of rally to come back on. You should have tried Finland.
Afterwards, yes. It would have been better, maybe here on the constant grip, it would have been fantastic, but okay. I don't want to do Finland anymore. Last time I won here, I want to keep the good memory, because even top 10 would be difficult now, I think.
Yeah, let's have a look at more archive. I think this next clip is 2006. Oh yeah, you're in the focus by now. Another win here.
Now, when you look at that car now, look how big it is compared to what we've got now.
Yeah, it's true. It looks wide and big.
It was built for you, though, wasn't it? Lots of leg room.
That was good.
And we talked to Mads earlier about Malcolm and his history in the sport. You had great memories with Malcolm, I'm sure. Any funny stories? 40 years he's been doing this job. Quite remarkable.
Yeah, it was good 2 years at Malcolm, and we had a lot of success. We won the manufacturer title twice. I couldn't bring the drivers' champion title to him, but it was very, very close. But he was a good man and a good team manager.
I want to ask you, did you ever pay the bill for breaking the roof in New Zealand after that famous victory when you got out the car? You were fighting against Sebastian Loeb. What was the gap? 0.2? 0.3?
0.3.
0.3 of a second. What a rally that was.
Yeah, in fact, it was my last win. And it ended close to the service. And it was really good feeling to beat Sebastian Loeb by 0.3.
I'm delighted to say I was there. I got wet in the champagne.
I was doing the interviews at the stop line. Marcus came through, and it was 2 minutes before Loeb came through. Loeb came through. By the time he got to the stop line, Marcus was like 150, 200 meters up the road. He'd got the time. He was on the roof. Seb pulled up and he went, I know I've lost, because he's jumping and dancing on the roof.
That's true. That's true.
It's kind of like, okay. But there's a secret about potentially what won you that rally.
There was one Norwegian driver, Henning Solberg, told me before the start, take the water splash on the right, from the right side. And that was right.
Less water.
Less water.
Less drag.
Yes.
0.3 of a second.
That's definitely it.
Yes. Thank you, Henning.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Henning.
But you spent your whole career really fighting against Sebastian Loeb. You could have had several more probably world championships if it wasn't for him, but
yeah, that's
times.
true. But also I had a chance to win him with a Ford. I mean 06, 07, but I made a mistakes in the end of the both seasons. So it was my fault. So nothing to complain.
Australia must have hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, Australia was stupid. First stage, few kilometers in on the stage and on the roof.
You've all done it.
Yes, I've done about 100 meters in Portugal one year before I crashed, so the feeling is not really nice.
I guess for you, Marcus, coming here for the first time, having grown up here, it's not quite the same.
I can't remember. It's exactly 30 years ago. I did my first Rally Finland, 1989. Okay, it was a private at that time, and then many years as a private driver. I started to learn the roads, but at that time we had so many stages. It was 52, I think, the first year.
And what car was it?
Lancia Delta Integrale, Group N.
Wow, I don't suppose you still got it?
I have it.
You have it?
Yes, in my museum.
You've got a bit of a collection.
Yes.
Yeah. What else have you got in there? What is your prize car in your collection?
It's Peugeot 206.
Yeah.
I have two of these. The years when I won the title. And there, I have them there.
Is that a deal that you write into the contract that if you win the championship?
No. Some drivers had it, like Didier Oriol maybe, and Kankkunen maybe had in the contract that if they win the champions,
They get a car.
Yeah, they get a car. But I didn't have something like that.
You had to buy it.
Yes, unfortunately.
Having both of them, that's just greedy, surely. One would have done. It's the same car.
No, it's okay. I have run so many cars with Peugeot, so it's one of the cars I used.
Thierry Neuville, surprisingly upbeat there. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Adamo and Craig Bean. Contract negotiations, I wonder what's being said there.
When Mads is having a look at my book of positions, and it's Breen Neuville, and he goes, what do you think will happen? And I mean, one-off drive, your teammate is trying to fight for the championship. It's quite obvious, isn't it, Mads?
I think he just got told, to be honest, when you saw that conversation. But I think in one way it makes sense. Of course, it could be very disappointing for Craig to give away a position, but at the same time, I think they were quite clear before the event that they want drivers in there to support Thierry on his campaign on winning the championship, and I think it could be necessary.
But if you've got to get the phone call, so to speak, of slow down because we want, that's got to be job done, hasn't it? If you're in front of...
It has to. It has to be a job
If they've
done.
got to tell you you've got to slow down to let someone past...
Yeah, I'd say so.
You can't do any better than that, can you?
What would you say if you were told to slow down, Marcus?
No, I was not happy. It happened once, and I was second, and I was told not to catch my teammate. So that happened once.
Did you
and
listen?
It was in Norway.
Did you listen?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Which is your favourite stage here in Finland? Which one is making you smile, and why?
To be honest, I never had a favorite stages. I was thinking that way. Every stage is my favorite. But if you ask me, I think it's somewhere there around Jämsä. The Saturday stages normally. When we used to go to Tampere, there was nice stages.
And why in particular those stages?
I don't know. It was just,
They just
for
suit,
some reason.
suit your style.
I don't know. A little bit wider, harder roads normally.
We keep talking about like Latvala and Lappi and Suninen and the pressure. How much pressure is on a Finn in Finland? Such heritage of rallying here. Can you enjoy the rally, or is it just so much expectation?
I said I never enjoy really the rally here. You cannot, enjoy a single meter here. You must attack all the time, every meter, every jump, and it's just, difficult one.
And let's talk about tomorrow's stages. What can we expect tomorrow?
No, I have not really looked really into them, which one, and maybe Mads knows better. He drove here last year.
Lauka and Ruomäki.
Yes, you know the stages as well. Of
I
course,
know.
Ruomäki,
Ruomäki is terrible with the jumps, but these cars are nice. So, but if you are a little bit hesitating there, you can lose few seconds.
I think
we're going to get the map up of the day soon, so you'll be able to kind of like have a chit chat about what that is. But as you say, like
I think the stages are quite famous, and I think all the drivers have done them many times. So obviously the risk of doing a mistake is it would be really a mistake, because the stages are famous. You know the bad places, and I'm sure the drivers can control it a bit more.
The thing I find is like 45 Ks, as we were saying, can Lappi do anything? 45 Ks isn't a lot, is it?
Yeah, okay, Lauka, you can make some difference there, and that's one stage I really liked when you asked me. I like this one, but can you make some big difference? I don't know.
What do you think?
I don't think so. I think the drivers have done the stages too many times. And there is, you need to have a puncture, of course, can happen. But mainly you know the bad places, you know the tree stumps, you know the stones, you know the corners, you know the junctions. So, of course, it's easier tomorrow.
Right, we're going to dive into some social media. Earlier today, we put out a request, a hashtag Ask Marcus. So I'm going to dip into the phone here. We'll get through as many of these as quickly as we can. Right, this is the first one. Ika Mia, Ask Marcus. What do you do in your everyday life? Own a business? ? Is it connected with rally?
Yeah, I have. Okay, it's not a business what I'm doing now. We are running the rallycross team in World Championship, but I'm just losing money there. So it's not a business. But then I have other things what we are doing in shopping center and in my hometown.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, losing money. It's expensive business, isn't it?
It's expensive. Yes.
Another one here. What's your best memory from growing up and learning to race? That's from Bevo.
Okay, it's a long time ago when I started rallying, so there is so many good memories. Before the rally I did motocross, and which was also nice sport, and a lot of memories. Yeah.
Still got any bikes as well?
No, I haven't touched the bike since I had an accident, and I had a bad accident with my knee, so.
Stay away from the bikes.
Yes.
Another quick one here. I think you might have already answered this one. What's your favorite car you drove? Probably not the 307.
I have to say 206 Peugeot, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, this is from Neil Dempsey. Given the risks we've seen Toyota taking today, does Marcus Gronholm recall which one of his wins he had to take the most risks in?
It was always risk. So
I've missed that.
I was on the limit always, but most risks maybe the last years with Ford. I think we were on the limit also.
This one's come in from a certain Jari-Matti Latvala. Don't know who he is. Do you know him?
Okay, I don't know.
When do you come back and have another go in the Yaris for another rally or two?
No, I said after Sweden I am not coming back anymore. It was quite a difficult one, but I don't think I will be back.
Quick question from Tommy. What was your favorite WRC win?
Tommy Mäkinen and Jari-Matti is asking me. Favorite win? I said always my first win ever in Sweden was the best.
Yeah, always the first one, isn't it? Henu, what happened to your co-driver in Finland in 2005 after a big jump? He started making some noises and you asked him if he was okay.
Yeah, he hurt his back and couldn't breathe for a while, and it was quite bad. somehow we finished the stage and he came to the service, and then okay, it was quite risk, but I didn't knew at that time it could have been bad. Another one like that in the rally, and maybe Timo couldn't walk anymore. So, but finally everything went okay.
We've got loads more questions here, but you've done your questions already, Mads. I'm wondering whether you've got any questions for Marcus and his career.
Well, yes, but I mean, we have had the possibility to talk a lot about previous, but it would be interesting to know in the beginning, like 20 years ago, when you were competing in the World Championship, do you think that the difference, let's say the risk you had to take to win a rally was less than what it is now? Do you feel it's more drivers winning and fighting for the same stage times?
Yeah, now it's quite, you know, it was bigger gaps. You could win the stage here by 10 seconds, and sometimes if you were pushing, you could have an even bigger gap. I don't know why. But at the same time, it was in fact, more drivers who could win the rally. It was a lot of champions. I remember it was maybe 5-6 world champions in the same rally. Now it's only one.
Exactly, yeah.
We've got some All Live questions here as well from the hashtag All Live. Marcus, when you said in front of camera that you were fed up with the 307,
Oi.
you weren't afraid what the team would tell you after that comment. What actually did the team tell you after that comment?
No, it's a long story. Of course, it was not nice marketing for sure, but I came to the end of the stage, I was upset, and he was there, I think.
So it's your fault.
His fault.
I asked him, how was the stage? And he just let rip with, yeah, tell me, that was it. It was a bit like that, tell me. And it was that 307, and you know, the door, we always opened the window on it, it was never the door.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of the microphone went in, and he just...
I remember Timo was, no, stop,
Yeah.
don't say anything.